Good. And the time?
The time is now 8:32, and the Alice City Council returns from recess. Continuing on item number 9. Roland, if you would, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Financial statements and summary of funds for the month ending June 30, 2018. We're at the three-quarter mark right now, so we should be at 75% of the budget. We'll start with 2018 general fund revenues, which are $8,916,295 year-to-date, which puts us at 76.5%, which is about 1.5% of the budget for revenues. We'll start with property tax. Property tax year-to-date budget was $2,043,369, and our year-to-date was $2,731,037. This is for the general fund. That's an increase of $687,668. Whereas the other ones for the general fund, this is your total tax levy. And in 2018, you'll see where it's $3,959,238 year to date. This is through June. We've collected, our total tax levy was $4,278,308. So there's a difference of about $319,070, which is about 92.5%. That's about a percent higher than what we were last year at this time. Sales tax, we're at budget $3,960,000, and our year-to-date through April, because of the 2-month lag, which is your green bar, is at $3,630,430 through April, and the orange bar is the same budgeted amount through April, which is $3,080,000. And that gives us an increase of $520,430 if you compare April budgeted to April actual. On Exhibit C, we're comparing budget versus actual for 2018. And 2018 budget was $3,520,000, whereas 2018 actual was $4,183,934. So that's an increase of $663,934 for budget versus actual. On Exhibit D, we have 2018 sales tax collection. This is 2018 versus 2017 actual through May. And 2018 was $4,183,934, whereas 2017 through May was $3,462,530. So that's an increase of $721,404.
Salud.
Bless you.
Our occupational and mixed beverage tax and our franchise and licenses are both about 58% of the budget right now. Intergovernmental is about 61.5%. Charges for services are 48.3%. Fines and forfeitures are still going strong. They're almost 90.5%. Miscellaneous revenues is about 87.5%. And our interfund transfers is right at 75%. So now we go to general fund expenditures. And we have year-to-date for the expenditures are $8,449,975, which is 72.53% of the budget. So whereas our revenues were 1.5% over, our expenditures are about 2.5% under, so that's a good thing. To highlight a few of the large departments, your general services under budget, finance administration is under budget, your fire department is right at the 75% mark, and your police department is under budget, actually. It says 71.66%, which is about 3.75% under the budget amount. Street maintenance is a little bit over, about 5% over. And your parks, playgrounds is under, library is under. And so on the Exhibit F, we have the revenues versus expenditures for all the major funds. General fund, 466,320 in the positive. Solid waste is 181,958. Utility fund is still in negative, 624,426. That does include the payment for the Vector. I'm sorry, the vacuum truck.
Vacuum.
Yes. And a few other line items that we've been looking at that are a little bit over. Fuel, temps, and they've been quite busy. Your airport, $11,008 in the positive. Golf course, in the negative, 15,218. Hotel occupancy, 5,481. And I never thought I'd say the multi-use complex is in the positive, 586 right now. Of course, that includes your transfers, but it's in the positive right now. Last month, if you remember, it was 19,000, a little over, almost 20,000 in the negative, so it's turned around.
The good months.
If there's any questions?
I'm confident that in the departments that are over budget, that you're looking at that as, looking ahead of ways to get that more under control in the next cycle.
Yes, we continually discuss that,
Okay.
city manager and ourselves in the directors' meetings.
Yeah.
And there's some of them that they're actually due to staffing or whatever may be
Sure.
beyond the control of the department, but they're trying the best, we're trying our best to figure out how to fund those departments if they need additional staff
Yeah.
members and so
Absolutely.
forth.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One of them, city council.
What's that?
City council. Yeah.
Other questions?
Just happy to see sales tax revenue is climbing. Definitely use it, so hopefully we can do a lot with that.
Yes, sir.
We're able to do something like that in here, so, thank you.
You're welcome.
Roll.
Yes, sir.
Council, I'll open it up if there's any other discussion, any other questions?
I think Mr. Burke covered it.
All right, Roland, thank you very much, appreciate that. I'll tell you something, though, these graphs make a world of difference on just the presentation and how efficiently they can be done, so thank you. Yes. Let me get myself, okay. We were going to open up 10 by itself, correct?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to item number 10, delivery and submission of city manager's fiscal year 2017 and 18 revised City of Alice budget and fiscal year 2018-19 proposed City of Alice budget. Mr. Sparsa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. What you have before you is our proposed budget, and it's meant just to be delivered today. We'll have some budget workshops that we'll schedule in the next agenda items and a public hearing and those type of things, but just to let you know, the budget that is presented is a balanced budget on the general fund. Actually, balanced budget all the way: general fund, solid waste fund, utility fund, airport fund, golf course fund, as well as a multi-use complex. However, on the airport and on the multi-use and on the golf course, they are balanced because they're getting transfers from the general fund. Okay, so just to be clear that that's how those funds are working. This does also include a 5% adjustment to salary reduction for the non-civil service employees, the ones that took a cut, that 10% cut a couple of years ago. This is including a 5% adjustment to give them back part of that was taken away. And to note that we still have in this budget some street improvements for repairs and maintenance of about $820,000. Water and wastewater improvements in the amount of $654,000. This is assuming we'll collect the same amount of tax revenues as last fiscal year, which will be a tax rate decrease. The effective rate should go down. And so those are kind of the highlights here. We'll have a full council next meeting, and we'll be able to go over some of those things. I just wanted to give you the highlights and merely just kind of present this to you. The budget has to be delivered by charter to the council by August the 2nd. The charter says between 60 and 90 days before the fiscal year begins. So the deadline is August 2nd, so we're ahead of that deadline. I'm trying to keep as much as we can on regularly scheduled meetings for you guys, and so that's why I wanted to present this already today, and that'll give you time to look at it, and then on the 14th we can have discussions over it, see what changes, if you want to see some changes to it, move around some of the funding that we need to do, and things of that sort.
So I definitely want to go through this and utilize a
Yeah.
couple of things, so very good, thank you.
All right.
Now, will a digital copy, sorry, I know we're not supposed to ask a bunch of questions because it doesn't ask questions. I'm just asking, will a digital copy be made
Yeah.
available for myself and maybe the mayor also, so that she can download it and have it? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you.
And on, I'd recommend that we could open up 11 and 12 and 13 together.
All right, dealing with dates and timings, we
Yeah.
are moving on to agenda item number 11, and I will be opening all at the same time, so bear with me, please. Agenda item number 11, consider and act upon setting the time and place for a public hearing on the proposed City of Alice fiscal year 2019 budget and causing publication of notice for public hearing. Okay, now number 12. Item number 12, consider and act upon setting a time and place for a public hearing on the tax rate and taking a record vote on the proposed tax rate on the City of Alice fiscal year 2018-2019 budget and causing publication of notice of public hearing. And number 13, consider and act upon fixing dates and times for budget workshops for the proposed fiscal year 2018-2019 City of Alice budget if needed. Marcy, you have the floor.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, what I'm proposing right now is to follow a calendar initially for what we have on regularly scheduled council meetings. I know the mayor's out, so if we want to do anything additional, we can look at that on the August the 14th meeting. But right now, what I would like to schedule at least to have a budget workshop for the 14th and a budget public hearing for the 14th as well. And if we need to change that and add a date for the 28th, we can do it at the meeting of the 14th. So the other thing is that this is not, the budget presented is not going to increase taxes, so not necessarily a need for a tax rate public hearing. We can certainly have one. So I was going to recommend having that tax rate public hearing on the 14th as well. If we wanted to have one, it could be something tentative. And so what I had here, if you look at the calendar, the 14th is our next meeting, recommendation to have a tax rate public hearing on the 14th, a budget workshop, and a public hearing on the budget also. And then on the 28th, a budget workshop. And on the 11th, we would be scheduling the adoption of the budget and adoption of the tax rate. That our deadline to adopt the budget is September the 15th. Okay, so that would be on a regularly scheduled meeting. As we go to the meeting of the 14th, and as you guys are looking through this in the next 2 weeks or so, if there needs to be an additional budget workshops, we can schedule that on the 14th.
So you're saying is just an agenda item on the meeting that's regularly planned, no?
Right.
So,
And-
even though it's a special call in a meeting, it's just the standard meeting is what we're planning. Okay.
So if that would be fine, that's what I would recommend, a budget workshop on August the 14th, along with a budget public hearing, along with a tax rate public hearing, and then on the 28th, a budget workshop, and on the 11th, adoption of the budget and adoption of the tax rate.
Ken, on the 14th meeting, you're not anticipating that to be a heavy item meeting, do you?
You know,
The workshop itself?
you mean for all the other items?
Okay.
You know, Renee's not here, and she has our list of the potential items, so I don't know yet, but if we needed to change some of that along the way, we could on the 14th. I mean, we can have a public hearing, we can have a budget workshop, but if we don't have time for it, certainly have it on the 28th anyway, or decide sometime in between there. This is just to get some things on the calendar already for posting requirements, and make sure that we have some things tied to our regular scheduled meetings.
So that's actually, we have 3 weeks, right? 1, 2, 3 weeks to review the budget because we're 3 weeks away from the 14th.
Well, yeah, well, no, I mean, we don't have to take action until,
No, but I'm saying just to
The
review it for the workshop.
oh, yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
we
Yeah.
have time to review it. Because we're 3 weeks away from our next meeting. Okay. This guy. All right, so, council, we have recommendations. Any more discussion on the floor? Anybody? Check your calendars. We're standard meetings, so hopefully it was on your calendar already. So. All right, at this time, do we need to, we need a motion all
Yeah, I
three
guess so.
individually?
No, you can just
Or
do it
just-
as presented.
Okay, I'll take a motion for all three together.
I'll make a motion to set the time and place of the public hearings for the budget workshop for August 14th, August 28th, and is that going to be one? Okay.
Okay, we have a motion?
Yeah, you can act on that one, it's by itself, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do the workshops and then we'll do
Okay.
the public hearings. Yeah. Okay, you have a second?
Second?
We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion approved as stated. Now we'll take a motion for the budget public hearing and for both the budget and the tax rate public hearings for items number, that would be actually 12 and 13, if anybody please. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 11 and 12.
13.
Is that? Okay. So I'll take a motion for setting the dates for the public hearings for the 14th, please.
I'll move for approval of setting the budget hearing, public hearing for August 14th.
You include the text?
And the text.
Second.
Text read.
As far as,
Well, right now, the 28th was only budget.
no, we don't need to put that on there right now on the 28th,
Okay, so
because we can do that on the 14th if we need to.
We have a motion and a second for the public hearings for both budget and tax rate to be set for the standard meeting on the 14th. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries as stated. Agenda item number 14. Take a motion to, or consider and act upon adjournment.
I'll make the motion.
Motion? Second? All in favor? Say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion to adjourn. Thank you all for attending today's city council meeting. Thank you at home for watching. Y'all have yourself a great evening.
Yeah.